Welcome back to Apple Cottage. This is Sandy. I just thought I would share some changes in our lives. Now, Joe and I have lived here in Gillette, Wyoming for about 15 years. We moved from South Dakota. We had always planned to go back to South Dakota to retire because our grandkids are there. Our grandkids are getting older, other than our little wee one that's only a year old. And we just really talked about it that there's our pros and cons to living in the same town that your grandkids live in. Now, of course, you get to see them more, but we only live 2 hours away, so we can drive back and forth quite a bit if we need to, or we want to. But we've decided, well, Joe's decided that he's going to retire now. He could have retired several years ago, but every year he'd go, just one more year. I'm not ready to retire, I'm going to work one more year, which was totally okay. But he's decided that in July, he's going to retire. And so we have decided as a couple that starting January 2020, we're going to live on just the income that we will have for Social Security. Now, that makes some changes in our lives because really we have basically gone where we wanted to go, bought what we wanted to buy. But we decided that if we started in January, we would have 6 months to get used to living on that kind of budget. That we would, we'd still have a safety net that if something came up, and it's not like we don't have savings and things that we've prepared for, but we just decided that we're going to live just on Social Security. And we've always really been pretty much bargain shoppers. Not that at times I don't buy something brand new, because we do. But like my outfit today, I was at the thrift store yesterday, and when I go, I always go on Mondays, because if you're a senior, you get 10% off. If you bring in your own little bags, you get another 10% off. But yesterday, when I was in there, it was 50% off every single thing in the store. I was so excited. So I got 3 new blouses, 3 new vests, and 2 pairs of jeans. $9. That is a bargain to me. Books were 5 cents, but the books are regular only 10 cents anyway. And I got a bundle of old silverware for $3. It was marked $6, so it was 50% off. And I don't need silverware in my kitchen, but I use silverware in some crafty things. And I bend it and I twist them, and I've just made a lot of different things with silverware. And so I was excited about that. Fun projects for the summer. But when you decide to live on Social Security, things are different. Now, we've always lived in what I call the little house on the big street, because our house, the main floor is about 900 square feet, and then we have the basement, about the same size, and a 1-car garage. But we do have a large lot, which has just been such a blessing to me because of all my gardens and fruit trees, and I have a food forest and an orchard, and that has been a blessing. And it's been a blessing not only because I enjoy it so much, but because we've produced so much food to help with our expenses in that way. So I know that right now when I logically look at it, it should be pretty straightforward. We make our Social Security, we'll make enough to pay our bills, but things come up, because that is life. And so I think it will just be a time of transition. So that's why we thought to start 6 months before, so that, you know, that we would be even more frugal than what we are right now. So I'll bring you along on the journey of the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I'm sure there's going to be days that I am not liking it, because I'm very used to, if I want something, I can get it, or I can figure out how I can get it. So I think it will be an interesting 2020. Now, I'm not worried about food because I am such a gardener and I can produce, I dehydrate, we eat it fresh. That is not a worry to me because we have that ability. But things come up when you own a house. You know, things break down, the refrigerators stop. And I think it'll be an interesting time in our lives. We had thought about moving back to South Dakota because that's where we're from. The grandkids are there. But there's pros and cons of living where your grandkids are. I don't want to be the bossy grandmother that says, don't do it that way, you need to do it this way. I would rather have my girls call and say, what do you think? What are things that worked and didn't work for you? I like that better. And it's 2 hours and we can go over and see the grandkids. But living on Social Security, I can't go anytime I please. Maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months. It just depends. So if you're retired or you're about to retire and you have ideas or you have things you've gone through and how you fixed that and how you rationalize the situation, I'd really appreciate it if you left comments below. Because this is new territory for us. And it's a new territory to have my husband home all the time. Now, I won't have him home all the time until July. But I'm very independent too. I like to be able to have my time by myself. I like to be able to go. Just plan out my day and not have to worry about other people because, you know, all of our kids are grown, our grandkids are getting older. And so this is going to be an interesting time in our lives. So any words of wisdom that you have, I just really would appreciate. I've watched lots of videos on retirement. Some of them are horror stories. I hope that we're prepared so we don't have to go through some of those things. And I just am, I don't want to say concerned or apprehensive because I always think that things are adventures, that there's new pages in your life. I believe that God watches over you and supplies and protects and guards you. So send your prayers my way for me and Joe. Anything that you can suggest of things that we might not have ever thought about because you've gone through retirement or you've seen things happen to your parents as they went through retirement. I would just really appreciate it. So this is Sandy at Apple Cottage, and have a wonderful day. Be prosperous, be healthy, and just thanks so much.